Hello again guys, this is FJ and I just wanted to do a quick review of the Nitro Select TLS boot. Now in my previous video where I talked about boots, I was a really big fan of the Nike Zoom Force 1 and the DC Park, but I came across a really good deal on these Nitro Select TLS and I am a big fan of these. Now I just wanted to go over some of the features of this boot. It's a bit heavier than the Nike Zoom Force 1 and it's definitely heavier than the DC Park, which was even lighter. But just the feel of this boot and the comfort of this boot is amazing, and I pretty much attribute that to the liner inside. They call it the Type 3 liner. It is the most comfortable liner I've ever tried on. Before, when I tried the Nike Zoom Force 1, I thought that was, but this one beats that. The actual fabric that they use inside the liner is very comfortable. I've never had any issues in terms of cramping, and also it's very warm. On the coldest days that I've gone out, this boot has definitely kept my feet nice and warm and toasty in there. Overall, the durability is top notch. I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's heavier, but the outer on this boot is very durable. You can just see that it could probably take quite a bit of a beating, but it just feels solid when you're holding it in your hand and when you're wearing it too. It's very stiff, stiffer than I thought I would particularly like. Most of that is attributed to this additional very tough material on the tongue. It makes this boot even more stiff than I had originally anticipated. Despite that, it has these two separate panels really on the lower and the upper foot, so it has an articulating ankle. I can't really do it so much with my hands, but you'll notice here that having two separate pieces here really makes that ankle articulation a lot better. My Nike Zoom Force 1s didn't have that, so that's why I'm a huge fan of these. I get the stiffness with the overall build of the boot, but I still have an articulating ankle. That for me is important because I like to do a lot more tricks and I like to go into the park as opposed to just high-speed free riding. Cushioning on this boot is awesome. There appears to be an air bubble in here. I'm not really sure if that's just styling or it's actually integrated into the sole, but it's very good in terms of shock absorption and dampening. And the outsole on the bottom of the boot, this is actually a really cool design. So when you're climbing up forward, you've got these ridges to grab onto the snow. But if you're trying to hold yourself up from going down the slope, if you're climbing down, you got the same opposite shape underneath your heel. So it's overall an awesome boot. The TLS twin lace system took a little bit of getting used to, but it didn't take that long. It's actually quite easy to use. You may need to tighten it in the middle of the day. You know, if you just didn't pull it up and lock it as good as you should have right in the beginning of the day, it could loosen on you. But overall, it's really easy to use. I was a big fan of the laces in terms of distributing the pressure on your foot, but this twin lace system pretty much works the same because you've got the same lace hoops on the sides here, but you've got the ease of just pulling on two of these handles. And then you just tuck them away on the side and your pant goes over everything. Another thing I want to add is sizing. Now I'm a size 8 when it comes to shoes, and I usually use Nike as my point of reference in terms of sizing. I wear size 8 in dress shoes, size 8 in running shoes, basketball shoes, and these Nitros, I'm a size 8, which makes me really happy. It's hard to trust sizing when it comes to snowboard boots. On the Nike Zoom Force 1s, I actually ended up getting an 8.5. But I realized later on, I guess as the more I used it, it did sort of space out a little bit, so maybe I could have gotten an 8, I'm not quite sure. But with DC, I'm a size 9. I had a pair of Burton Decadents, and I was a size 9 there as well. So it's really hard, you really do have to try out each boot. But with Nitro, I can trust that their size 8s will fit me, and that makes things a lot easier for me when hunting for boots in the future. So definitely the Nitro Select TLS is now my favorite boot. This is Nitro's top of the line boot. I think it retails for about $350 and I was able to get it for just $90 plus tax. These are the 2010 model, but I'm sure they've made even further improvements in newer models. Alright, there you have it guys. This is the Nitro Select TLS. Love these boots, highly recommended. Have a good one.